45. There goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, how the fuck are you doing? Welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 378 on this lovely Saturday morning, March 30th, 2024. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me is my partner in crime, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. E, how you doing this morning, kid?
I'm doing great. Like you said, lovely Saturday. Happy Easter weekend to everybody out there, celebrating, not celebrating. Happy Ramadan and whatnot. So just excited though. We got Elite 8 MLB season just started. We got USFL. Oh my God, UFL starting.
Yep, there you go.
And then we got some basketball week slate, but there was exciting day. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, it's exciting times. We got everything going. You playoffs for hockey's coming up. You got the NBA playing coming up in just about 2-3 weeks. We got the Masters, spring football, baseball. We got the UFC. I will be boots on the ground in the lovely Atlantic City tonight. Oh, can't fucking wait, kid. Let's talk about it. Like you said, we got a huge episode. Let's start with some news and notes. In the NFL. Coming home yesterday, I was so upset. I went to the Mets opening. I went to the Mets opening day, and the Mets Twitter, like their official Twitter, they said one team, one goal, one season, and I had a quote tweet it and say, and got one hit. It's just sad. It's just so sad. The Mets, they were awful yesterday to get one hit. And then the guy, Reese Hopkins, wanted to fight. He was just a pussy too. First of all, who names their son Reese? That's one question I had. And so, me coming home, awful, feeling down. My team just let me down. And mind you, yes, the Mets have been kind of a poverty organization my whole life, but we do have the best opening day record in the last 62 or since the Mets became a team back in the day. So the first day of the season usually has been good for us. Not when I'm there, unfortunately, but I get the big news on the way home. Hassan Reddick has been traded to the New York Jets. Eagles are sending edge rusher to the Jets for a conditional 2026 third-round pick. That could be a second. Depends on his playing time. It becomes a second if he plays about 68% of the season and has 10 or more sacks. If not, it's just going to be a 2026 third-round pick. I mean, what a fucking steal. We kind of not let go, but we let it kind of a homegrown talent in Breece Huff just walk out the door. I was kind of bummed. I said it about 2-3 weeks ago. I was very bummed out about it. It was one of our best linebackers who got so much pressure on the quarterback. But now we replace him on the other side with Hassan Reddick. I mean, over the past 5 years, Hassan Reddick is tied for the fifth most sacks in the NFL. So the Jets don't have a deal with them. They didn't sign him. It's kind of just this year. So if they don't extend him, it kind of leaves them into free agency, and the Jets kind of would get a compensatory pick. So, they're giving up a pick, and if they lose them, they would get one back. But I just think overall, and I'll let you jump in here real quick, I just think this is a home run for the Jets. It kind of looked like a broken bat. We kind of let him, Breece Huff, out the door. And Hassan Reddick, he's 30. For 1 year, we're paying him $14.5 million. Or would we rather have paid Huff? He's 26 for 2 years, $34 million, fully guaranteed. In my opinion, right now, Hassan Reddick is the all-around better player. I don't think that's much of a controversy or a hot take. I think he is the better player. And to be honest, I mentioned, remember I said, well, this puts a lot of stress and a lot of faith into Will McDonald, a first-round pick out of Iowa State. I don't think the Jets are that. They don't really believe in him, because I think if they believed in him, they wouldn't have went out and got Hassan Reddick. It raises some questions about Will McDonald and his trajectory. If I'm being honest, it's now on the Jets depth chart. He's a defensive end number 4. Will McDonald. That's not ideal for a first round pick, if I'm being honest. So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Full-time player. He played 74% of his snaps last season. He's not just a situational edge rusher. He's going to impact the game on every down. You pair him next on the other side with James Michael Franklin, and then we got Quinnen Williams in the middle. I think it's a home run for the Jets, kid. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is one of the best trades this offseason. Maybe not up there with the Brian Birds with the Giants and the Panthers, but still, the fact that I was able to pull this off for, let's just call it a second-round pick, though, because I believe Reddick will play more than 68% of the snaps still. I think he might be one of your best interior pieces, to be honest, still moving forward. And, I do agree with your take when you said Hassan Reddick, as of right now for the 2024 season, is the much better player, but you got Huff, you got to stay. They got him for 4 years. You're going to have Reddick for a year, 2, 3, maybe if you extend him a 2-year deal, maybe max, So at the end of the day, we know the Jets are in a win now situation. They're all in right now, especially this upcoming season. We saw the moves, Mike Williams. You saw they got 3 new offensive tackles for Aaron Rodgers to protect them. So this is just another putting a little gravy on top of the food. So I love the move. And let's not forget, people, Hassan Reddick, let's not forget what he's done. Remember that Super Bowl run with the Eagles had last year? He was just a monster. I think he had 14 sacks that season 2 years ago.
He's a fucking beast, bro.
He's a monster. He's just going to cause havoc in the interior side of the line. Think about it. Like you said, you're going to have Quinnen Williams in the middle, and then him. He could either play linebacker or he could rush. So it's just a great signing / trade for the New York Jets. I'm gonna give y'all that credit, Dill. And to be honest, it was a great move because as a Patriots fan, Hassan, you got a game plan for a guy like that. So you gotta, every team in the division are like, all right, we got a game plan for him because he can honestly wreck a game.
Now, on the Eagles side, it will save him 14.5. Like I said, he is going to make $14.5 million this year. So the Eagles will save some money by not cutting him, by trading him. But I'll say this. In 38 games with the Eagles, he's had 30.5 sacks. So, he causes so much havoc on the edge. He's going to get to you. And, from 2020 to 2022, Hassan Reddick became the first player to have double-digit sacks in 3 straight years on 3 different teams since sack became an official stat back in the 80s. So, I mean, this guy is just – I want to say a little more numbers. His numbers since 2020 sacks per year. 2020, he had 12.5. That was 4th in the league. 2021, he had 11. It was 11th in the league. 2022, he had 16. It was 2nd in the league. That was, I think, the year 14. You were talking.
I said 14.
Don't undercut my man now. This is and then last year he had 11, which was 15th in the league. So he's averaging about 12.5 sacks per year. I just can't understand. I can't.
You can't sound more appreciative right now. Dylan.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you got a game wrecker who could change the game at any moment, Dyl. That's what you got. And then on the opposite side, Dyl, you're gonna need somebody just to, they're gonna get one-on-one coverages. You're just gonna need that one that's gonna make McDonald. It's gonna be somebody else that's gonna step up, through the depth chart, Dyl, because you're gonna have a lot of one-on-one coverages, especially on the opposite side, Dyl. You just need one guy to step up, Dyl, and that defensive line is gonna be. I hate to say it, but pretty damn good.
I mean, just look at him. I'm looking at our depth chart. Jermaine Johnson on the edge. You got Hassan Reddick on the other side now. Quinnen Williams, Javon Kinlaw that we just signed from the 49ers. C.J. Mosley, Quinnen Williams, Sauce, DJ Reed. I mean, this defense is fucking.
Reed. I forgot about DJ Reed.
It's legit, kid.
It got to stay healthy though.
Yeah, of course.
Got to stay healthy though.
But, adding a Pro Bowler like Hassan Reddick, who is from New Jersey, he's a homegrown talent. I think we have to extend him. We have to give him a contract. Now, he's going to want some money, but I think he's going to want a little less than Brees Huff did. Fully guaranteed, a 4-year deal. You know, he got his money, rightfully so.
Yeah, he deserves. I'm gonna give him a 4-year deal, 60 with like 35 to 40 fully guaranteed. He deserves to be up there, though.
Of course, and the Jets
maybe
have
a little
some money
more than
to
that.
spend.
Maybe a little more than that, honestly.
John Franklin Myers on the line, Jermaine Johnson, Hassan Reddick up top, in the middle with defensive tackle Quinnen Williams, Javon Kinlaw, linebackers CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams, his brother, safeties Tony Adams, Chuck Clark. Hopefully Chuck Clark stays fucking healthy this year. But and then our DBs, Sauce, DJ Reed, and then you got Michael Carter. I mean, it's gonna be dominant.
And you still got like some veteran minimums you could possibly sign out there, like a Stephon Gilmore, Jamal Adams, you know, just to get more depth.
Don't ever disrespect us. We'll never sign Jamal Adams ever again.
Still for a
Don't ever
minimum, $2 million.
We
y'all want to consider it? Oh my god.
He's gonna rush the quarterback and pull a hamstring. He's done. Like the guy's washed. He's washed. That's it. You know it, and I know it. That's why you're hesitating right now.
I wouldn't say he's washed, but he ain't what he once was.
I can't believe we got Garrett Wilson off of that trade. I love you, Jamal Adams. But yeah, overall, I just think it can't understate how good of an offseason the Jets have actually had. Shoring up the offensive line, like you said, Tyron Smith from the Cowboys, Morgan Moses from the Baltimore Ravens, Jones Simpson from the Ravens. We get an actual good, decent backup quarterback in Tyrod Taylor. We get Mike Williams, Hassan Reddick, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle. We got another corner, Isaiah Oliver. So what the Jets have been able to, Mike Williams. Oh my God. So now I think it's all going to come down to, like you said, we have to stay healthy. A-Rod, can he stay healthy? If he can, watch out. We're in win now mode.
He usually does, though. Besides last season, he either has a toe, a thumb, or his collarbone from like 8 years ago. Other than that, he'd be healthy. And COVID.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah. But overall, I thought it was an amazing move. And I think financially, from a business side, I thought it was a good move for the Eagles. They released $14.5 million off of the books.
They could probably sign somebody else, though. Hey. Maybe one of the names I just mentioned might be on. They need to show up that secondary deal. If I'm the Eagles, I'm calling Stephon Gilmore, see what he wants to do. At the end of the day, it's a veteran presence. He plays more with his mind than what his God willing ability has in his later stage of his career. Though he's, to me, still top 10, top 15 corner. He's still at this age.
At that age?
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore. Come on now, Dill.
He could play, but top 15. Top 15.
Top 15.
I'll give him 15. I'll give him. Yeah, I'll give him 15. Okay. There's just a lot of good corners, but I just think Stephon Gilmore, like back 5 years ago, he was a top 5 corner.
He was the best. He won defensive player. He was the best defensive player in football.
I just don't know what happened. He went to the Colts. He kind of got like.
No, he's just getting old, man.
Yeah.
You know, you can't think about it, kid. Every year there's a kid coming in running a 4.3, and he's just losing a half a step every year, you know?
Yeah, he's losing
that's all.
That's
exactly. All. That's all it is, you know?
Half a step each year. You're going to be 2 steps behind now after 2-3 years, kid.
Put him on the tight end.
Stephon Gilmore he still got some threads on those tires, though.
I'm telling you, bro, he's still one of the best coverage corners in all of football. Do you want to line him up? Do you want him to guard, Marquise Brown one-on-one? No. But in a zone or just, soft coverage, he could do it.
I was just gonna say, I think he would do better in today's game in more of a zone type of scheme.
Yeah, zone,
not man.
You don't want him pressing. Yeah, you don't want him pressing.
No.
Like you can't run the Patriots defense no more with Stephon Gilmore. When he was still one-on-one shutdown corner. Yeah.
But big news in the NFL. Great trade for the Jets and the Eagles. A little NBA news. So we saw what happened with Draymond. Got ejected 4 minutes into the game against the Magic. I want to say Wednesday night, Thursday night. It was happened earlier in the week. 4th time he's been ejected this season. He's missed a total of 16 games this season. It was a do-or-die game. They needed to win that game. Thankfully, Steph went crazy, put him to sleep, and they won.
I want to say Steph went crazy, but he finished.
But he won.
Yeah.
He
I
finished
took his
strong.
over. He only had 17, so I'm not too happy about it. But I told you Warriors plus the points now.
I will say this. I know a lot of people are trying to move off of Draymond, and they think he's hurting his team, which I agree. I think he is hurting his team. He knows better. I don't think he's intentionally going out there and trying to get thrown out of games, but I think how do I want to put this? I think he's earned some leeway. He's a Hall of Famer. He's won 4 championships. I think he's earned a little leeway into talking to the refs. Now, first of all, I don't even think it was a foul on Pablo Banchero. I think Pablo Banchero actually just fell. And then the play went on. And then after the play, he said he went up to him. And I think he's earned that right where he could go up to a ref and be like, listen, what did I do? How is that a foul? You gotta reason with me a little. What did you see that I didn't see? And the ref just wasn't having it. He just didn't want to hear it. It was early in the game. He said, listen, I'm gonna set the tone early. I don't want to hear you. And Draymond kept going. He kept going and he said, what did I say? And kept going. He kept going. And I do think, yes, Draymond should have known better. But what about Steve Kerr? What about Chris Paul? What about Steph Curry? What about Clay?
Talk to them. I like this.
Like they're supposed to be leaders, right? Get your guy and say, listen, we need you right now. Shut up. Shut up and we'll deal with it later. But they didn't do it. But everyone wants to come out and be like, oh, Steph is this, Steph is that, because, he looked frustrated after he getting thrown out. Rightfully so. But I don't know. I just think in general, not just the league, I think the refs have become a little soft. And I also think his reputation has exceeded him, meaning for example, we talk about Tom Izzo. He's known for March. We know that he's an old school type of guy, gets in your face. And we know how Draymond is. His reputation speaks for itself. Fucking choking someone out. Rudy Gobert a couple months ago. So, yeah, hitting a guy in the face. It's what you're gonna get. My thing is, the Warriors are better for it. They wouldn't have won those championships without Draymond Green. So for all these narratives, for all these ESPN anchors to come out and say, oh, trade Draymond, see what you could get for him after the season. I think you need a guy like that. I wouldn't go that far, kid.
No, absolutely, Dale. I agree with you in that aspect, Dale. One thing I can honestly say, Draymond Green's value is highest with the Warriors and what they do than would he be any other team. If Draymond was in any other team, he would not be $100 million guy. He would not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He would not be a 4-time champion. Draymond doesn't give you these superstars numbers, Dale. What Draymond does, he plays his position at an elite level. He knows his role.
Yeah.
At the most elite, most high IQ possible way. He knows his role. He knows how to do it well. So do I think they could get good trade value for Draymond? Not really. They would.
He also just signed that contract. Remember that.
Yeah, they would not be able to replace Draymond because it's not the numbers he put up. He doesn't put up these all-star MVP type numbers. I think Draymond averages 6, 8, and 10, something like that. It's just what he brings, his pedigree, his demeanor. I'm not going to say he's an enforcer for the team, but he just does so much. He's like another backup point guard. He just does so much. No, I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they're going to stick by his side. And let's just go to the, to the ejection part, though. At the end of the day, you're saying that he earned the right. At the end of the day, though, I understand he earned the right, but his leash or the way he talks to refs shouldn't be more or longer than any other person in the league. I understand that's Draymond Green. I understand that, Dale, but if the 8th guy on the bench is going to get ejected for talking this much, Draymond should be just an extra 2 words. That's all I'm saying. To me, Draymond shouldn't be held accountable. He should be held accountable the same as any other player. Just because he's Draymond Green, he shouldn't get treated special or get thrown out quicker than other players as well. All I'm saying is Draymond should just get treated like a normal player. He's a hothead. I'm not gonna call him a hothead.
He is.
He has a history of these things. So as a ref, knowing a player had history, knowing that maybe he could stomp somebody out, he could smack somebody in the face, he could choke somebody. No, as a ref, knowing these things, this is why you gotta be a little more firm with Draymond. So that's what I want people to understand. The only reason refs blow the whistle so quick because they know what Draymond is capable of doing on that court.
Do you think
Good or
Draymond is
bad?
capable of changing his ways? Because a lot
I
of
think he
people are
did.
saying,
I think he
did he?
Did he punch anybody?
No, I
choke
mean he didn't put it.
anybody?
No, he
Did he
didn't put
stomp
his
it?
hands out, but he's still getting ejected.
Yeah, because he's trying to talk to the ref.
I know.
You gotta understand,
I feel you.
Draymond, not too many. How could I explain this? Some of these refs never interact with somebody like Draymond. So
That's
when
fair.
Draymond expresses himself, it comes off as he's yelling, he's this, he's that, but he's just he's amped up. He's in the middle of a basketball game. Of course, he's gonna yell at you. He's not about to be like, "Excuse me, Russell, what did I do? Like, what? Explain to me what?" No, he's gonna.
Excuse me,
he's
sir.
amped up. He's
Yeah.
amped up. So some of these refs gotta realize that Draymond is not your friend. Like, you understand? He's a little more fired up. I don't want him to have, let's just say, like a longer leash than other players, but I don't want him to have a shorter one either. So I just feel like they need to find a common ground with Draymond. Did he deserve to get tossed? Absolutely not. But from his history and knowing his antics, that it could get beyond that, I understand why. Do I agree with it? No. But all I'm saying is I understand why.
The one thing I will push back on is I do think some players have earned the right to have longer leashes.
No,
AD, LeBron, Steph Curry, Draymond.
I'm saying, look, he earned that, Dill. But
you're saying, yeah, there you go.
I'm saying he earned to have a longer one, Dill. But with some of these refs, he has the shortest in the league.
Yeah,
that's my point. He should
because of his reputation,
and he shouldn't have a long one either.
That's fair.
It should be the same as any other player in the league. Does he deserve to have a longer leash? Yes, but he shouldn't be thrown out just because he doesn't agree with a call.
Yeah,
to me, Draymond gets a whistle just from throwing his hands up sometimes. To me, that's unfair. But it's also unfair for him to also yell at a ref for 5 minutes straight.
Now, the other thing is, you said you think he did change. I don't know if he did. I don't know if he's capable of. I would hope he's capable of changing, because I think at the end of the day, whether they suspended him indefinitely to try to work on these things, whether it's putting your hands on someone. I think the end result is the same. You're missing basketball games and your team needs you. They want to get back to championship basketball. They're not playing good basketball this season. They haven't had a good season all year, and they kind of need them. Now, I will say, and I want to get your opinion on this, I don't think the Warriors' downfall, the reason that they're on the cusp of not making the playoffs. Right now, they're the 10 seed, 39-34. I don't think the reason that, if Houston catches them, I don't think the reason is Draymond. I think it's a lot of other things that's the problem, other than Draymond's antics or his passion or whatever you want to or however you want to describe it. Because a lot of people have been saying, oh, the reason the Warriors are having a down year is because of No. I will not accept that, because there are a lot of other issues. Let's talk about how bad Clay's been shooting. Let's talk about other things. Steve Kerr not being able to coach as well as a lot of people have been saying. I don't think the reason the Warriors are having a down year is because of, I guess, whatever Draymond's been dealing with and missing 16 games. Is that fair?
Yeah, I can honestly say, everybody on the team besides Kuminga has took a step back. Steph Curry shooting his lowest 3-point percentage of his career. I think since like his first or two seasons, his 3-point percentage dropped. His field goal percentage dropped a little bit. His minutes per game dropped a little bit. So the fact that Steph Curry, even last week, I don't know if you saw the post game interview, he was a little ticked off at Steve Kerr for him getting taken out of the game with 4 minutes left in the third, and then it get brung back in till about 6-7 minutes left in the fourth. They ended up losing that game, Dill. So I just feel like it's a little bit with Steve Kerr, with the roles and minutes, CP3 as well, Dill. To me, CP3 missing all that time through, like November, December, or January. I think that messed it up a little bit, just chemistry wise. I'm not gonna put the blame on Draymond, Dill. I'm gonna say Steve Kerr lost a step coaching. I'm gonna say Steph just took a slight step back, just points, minutes a game, stuff like that. Klay Thompson, we saw the step he took back.
Big step back.
Big step back. He's coming off the bench now. You know, he still gives you those high point games, but remember, people, at one point, Klay Thompson was one of the best dual-way players in the NBA defensively and offensively. So he's no longer that. He's coming off the bench. Yeah, he can still, light you up 4 or 6 threes a game, but there'll be those games where he'll just give you 1 3, 1 from 9 from the floor. So to me, the Warriors just need to regroup, get a little younger, because, at the end of you got Chris Paul, Steph, Klay, Draymond, all over 30s. So they got to work away. I just feel like, they let the dynasty ride off too long,
Yeah, and I think that's why
it was only a matter of time. Think about it, Dale. They've been doing this thing for 10 years. The Golden State Warriors won their first championship 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
It's just people forget that. They won their first title 10 years ago, people. So it's only a matter of time before they start slipping away.
Yeah. And that's why, a lot of people are saying, in his later years down the stretch, Steph Curry deserves a better Draymond. And,
absolutely.
But so does Draymond. Like I said, Draymond helped build this. If it wasn't for Draymond, they wouldn't have won all these championships. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. And I'm glad you brought up IQ, because I think Draymond has one of the highest IQs, top 5 in the NBA. There are certain things.
I'm going to say LeBron's 1, Chris Paul is 2.
Draymond's 3.
Draymond might be 3. I got to really sit down and see what players out there, maybe Kevin Durant, but Draymond has to be top 5 in IQ-wise.
Those were my top 3. It was LeBron, Chris Paul, and Draymond. And when he was in the league, Rajon Rondo.
And let's not forget, he doesn't really get playing time like that, but Ricky Rubio's like that. Like, honestly, he doesn't put up the number, but he could play ball.
Yeah. There are just certain things that other guys. We talked about how fast the game changes going from college level to the NBA. But there are certain things that, you pick up during the game. You're like, oh, shit, like we're on the court. We see he can't go to the left. We're just going to adjust mid-game. There are certain players, like we mentioned, LeBron, Chris Paul, Draymond. They are seeing this 10 plays before everyone else. They're seeing things that you and I could never see on a basketball court. And that just shows how dedicated, how much film he watches, and how good of a basketball player Draymond really is. And, you mentioned his number. Yeah, he's only averaging 8.7 rebounds and 6 assists, but it doesn't matter. Like, what he does on the court.
He plays louder than that. Not mouthwise. Like, his play on the court, if you watch the Warriors, he contributes way more than the numbers suggest. I'm telling you right now.
100%.
All the screens, pick and rolls, back end passes, all the bubble screens that he do to get a shooter open. He does so much. And let's not forget, 30-40% of the time, Draymond's the point guard on the team.
Yeah, he brings the ball up most of the time as well. He really calls out the plays, what we're gonna run right now. So yeah, it can't be understated how much he really means. But I just thought overall, I thought it was blown out of proportion a little bit, if I'm being honest. And then people coming out, like Jay Williams coming out, he's kind of rubbed me the wrong way too. He saying, because Draymond obviously has his own podcast, he came out, he apologized, he made a statement and everything, and everyone was just like, it just wasn't sincere. At the end of the day, Draymond, I don't know him, I've never. But Draymond doesn't give a fuck what anyone thinks. If I'm being honest, the only people he cares about is ownership and his teammates in that locker room. And I guarantee you, everyone always has something to say about Draymond, but not one of his teammates has ever said anything about Draymond besides Jordan Poole. And look what happened. He got punched in his shit. So that's what I'm saying. So no one has it's the truth. No one ever has something bad to say about Draymond Green. You know why? Because he's a great teammate. And if you do have something to say, he's from Flint, Michigan. We can handle this like men. And I think that's what you see sometimes, like his passion and his aggressiveness. It comes out a little kind of like New Jersey. Like when I went to school in Maryland, people are like, "Oh, you're mad aggressive," but that's just how people from New York and New Jersey talk. And the same thing I think with Flint, Michigan. It's just like people from Michigan, they got that grit about them where they're like, "Oh, you want to fight?" And he's like, no, I don't even want to
like
fight.
that.
Yeah, exactly. And, people not familiar with that.
Or never been in those environments. I'm going to throw you a T. What are you talking to like that? Why is he yelling at me like that? Oh.
Exactly. But yeah, I just thought it was overblown. But shout out Draymond, shout out Michigan State. So I mean, he's the type of guy, you would love to have him on your team, but you hate to play against him. But I would take Draymond in a heartbeat. I think you need those type of guys to win championships. So glad, Steve Kerr, they came out, they said everything. So everything's good. Hey, this is maybe what they need. 3 wins in a row now for the Warriors. Yeah, they need it because
must wins at that. Took care of business in Miami, back-to-back in Orlando, both great wins.
They need it because the Rockets
on the ass.
11 wins in a row.
They won 14 out of 15 games.
Yo, they're going crazy, the Rockets.
I'm telling
you,
Dame Udoka, one makes it to the play-in and makes the playoffs coach of the year. I don't give a
Really?
Yeah, still. That team won what? 19 games last year?
Yeah.
Come on. What more does he have to do?
They're 38 and 35, and they're 1 game out of the play-in with about 2 weeks left in the season. They're right there, kid.
Bro, I'm telling you, they're playing.
Would you take the bet right now? Rockets make the play-in tournament, yes or no?
They play the Warriors heads up once. Who do I believe will win that game? The Warriors. I think the Warriors stay put just because they know, especially with this incident, they know they have to not win out per se, but they got to definitely take care of business against Houston and then win 85% of the games remaining.
Dylan Brooks and Draymond got into a fight.
That game?
Yeah.
Both gets ejected. Find the prop right now. Because think about it. No. All seriousness. It's going to be hard for the Warriors to win the game without Draymond. It won't be that hard for the Rockets to win the game without Brooks. Especially at the way Jalen Green has been balling.
And low key, I know everyone with the whole baby mama incident, but Jalen Green has been balling. And let's not forget Fred VanVleet.
He's shushing people right now. Shout out Jalen Green, baby. Keep doing what you're doing.
Just let's keep it within one girl, right? Like 3 baby mamas in 12 months is crazy, right?
I got no comment. I don't know what you're talking about. All I'm saying that boy's averaging 29 points in the last 15 games.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
He's going crazy. Yeah. All right. Before we get into these picks, a quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry this Saturday down in AC, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, we have made it. Spring football is upon us. The UFL. Ooh, I can't wait for it. We got who do we have? We have the San Antonio Brahmas. We got St. Louis Battlehawks, the DC Defenders, Arlington Renegades, the Stallions, best team, I think. Michigan Panthers, they're going to be good. The Memphis Showboats and your team, the Houston Roughnecks. I don't know, kid. They're going to have a rough year, I think, this season. But
come on, Dale. Higher expectation for the Roughnecks. We're going to hold it down in Houston. We're not going to fall like the college men's team, Dale. We're going to hold it down.
Wow.
We're going to hold it down. Shout out the Roughnecks, Houston.
I will say you called it. They didn't make the Elite Eight again. We'll get to that as the Sweet 16. You did say something, but yeah, I love spring football. Elvis and I had a really good XFL / UFL, but yeah, it's going to be a really good spring football. We got 2 games every Saturday and 2 games every Sunday moving forward until the championship. So we'll start with the first game today at 1:00 in Arlington. The Renegades hosting the Birmingham Stallions. Right now, Stallions are laying 4 on the road. Over under is at 41.5, kid. I'll start this one off. I got it a little earlier in the week. I took the Stallions. Like I said, I think they are the best team. I laid the 3.5. I'll still lay the 4. Arlington, they're getting a real good test right out of the way with Birmingham Stallions. Now, Arlington, they were the lowest scoring team in the XFL last year. They only averaged about 14.6 points per game. They did trade for Alex Perez. That's going to help the quarterback. But, the Stallions, they're coming in here with more expectations. And, they have a much better quarterback. They have a better system. They have more of a complete team. And they kind of kept the band back together. They were 5-0 on the road last season. Birmingham, they won 9 of 12 games played last year by at least 4 or more points. So going to the spread, I think they can cover. I'm gonna trust the champs here. I think they start week 1 and I think they cover with a win. So I'll lay it here with the Stallions.
Damn, Dylan, same here, bro. I'm going with the Stallions as well. Laying the 3.5. Caught the number early. I'll still lay the 4. Dylan. At the end of the day, Birmingham Stallions, especially we saw last season, especially some games, it's just so much better than the talent on the
You
field.
could tell. Yeah.
Like I don't know if they were able to pick from a certain different crowd or something, but at times it don't even look like some players deserve to be on the field with them. So that's shocking. The Renegades, Arlington, Texas, we saw how good they were last year, especially defensively. I just don't think they'll be able to slow down the Stallions. So I'm gonna take the Stallions on the road, -4, -3.5, whatever you could get it at. But the Renegades, they are good. They see if they could duplicate the success they had last season. But the Stallions are just on another level, Dylan.
Remember, they came on pretty late too, the Renegades as well. So I don't know. I just think
quarterback change.
Yeah, they did have the quarterback change, which controversy and with Kobe Kemp. We don't know
in this league. What happened in this league?
Exactly. How did they just magically just get a better quarterback? We don't fucking know. Week 7, oh man, I love it though. Shout out The Rock. Let's go to the second game on the board today. We'll go up to Michigan. Speaking of Flint, Michigan Panthers hosting the St. Louis Battlehawks. Battlehawks laying 6.5 on the road. Over under is at 41.5. If you want to take a shot with Michigan, plus 225 on the money line. What do you got for this one, kid? Any play here?
Dill, this is the lean, Dill. I want to take the Panthers plus 6.5. I feel like at home, opening day, maybe the crowd is a little more amped, Dill, but the Battlehawks can't lock it down defensively. I give the Panthers a shot, Dill. I think they're live just because, it's the first week 1. You don't know what to play. Maybe the coaches got some tricks up their sleeves, Not officially. I'm not saying go take it official, but I think the Panthers they could definitely cover, Dill. I'm going to lean the plus 6.5. I don't know about the money line, but I'll give them a shot to cover, Dill.
Yeah, the Battlehawks last season, they didn't really blow anyone out. Only 4 of 10 games, they won by 7 points. So covering at around a 40% clip if you get the 6.5. But, they have the ability to
be a little
score.
Better, too. My fault.
Yes,
I expect the Panthers
you're good. Yeah, I agree. I do think Michigan will be better. I think they started so bad last season. They kind of came on a little later. They can score. That's not the problem. I think both teams have the ability to score. They got AJ McCarron and Michigan, they still have some things to prove. Michigan lost a lot last year and it was ugly. 5 of the 6 losses came by at least 12 points. So they did get blown out a lot. In fact, none of Michigan's first 6 games last season were decided by fewer than 14 points. I like the under. I agree with you. I do think the defenses will, especially the Battlehawks. I like their defense, but we're gonna go another favorite. I think the trend continues. I do think they get blown out here at home. I think they lose by like 14. So I'm gonna take the Battlehawks. I'll lay the 6.5 on the road. 2 away teams covering not big spreads, but they're gonna cover. Let's go to Easter Sunday. We got to hit. I think this is the closest team to us is the DC Defenders. We gotta hit that game one time this season.
We
but
had the Generals too.
Yeah, whatever happened to the New Jersey Generals? They were so bad.
They were XFL team.
Bad. Yeah, they were bad though. They were bad, unfortunately.
Talent came here though.
Yeah. Let's go to San Antonio. DC. Laying 6 on the road. San Antonio +6, plus 225 on the money line. Over under is at 44 even. I'm gonna go with an under here, kid. I feel like this is a trap for the over, to hit one of the best 2 defensive teams in the league. And, I think some regression is going to hit. DC's offense was good last season, but like you said, I think there's going to be some regression. Maybe the defenders on offense are a little rusty to start with some of the blitzes. San Antonio, because San Antonio is going to blitz them all day.
They play man.
They play man. They don't give a shit. But I think defense will step up on both sides. I think 44 is just a big number. I think DC's defense steps up, and so does San Antonio. I don't think we see a shootout. I think we kind of see a nip and tuck slugfest rather than a shootout. So I'm gonna go under 44 in this game. How about you?
Yeah, this one's like the one that honestly is hard to judge, just because Brahmas, they either could be really good or they could be really competitive, Dale. Like it's a give or take. And then the defenders, Dale, I just don't see them to be as good as they were last season. To lay 6, Dale, I gotta take the Brahmas +6. I don't know. I'm not gonna take it officially, but you gotta lean with the Brahmas, Dale, at home in San Antonio. The one thing I keep reminded is how they did Arlington that one game. How good Arlington looked all season. Then Brahmas just came out of nowhere, upset them. So I got to give Brahmas a shot at home. I'm not saying take them on the money line, deal, but I just don't see the defenders being as good defensively. And Brahmas, they could get torched, especially when they bring that pressure. But I think they get home one time, maybe a fumble or something. I'm not gonna lay it with DC. I think Brahmas is the rider side, people. I'm gonna tell you, Brahmas is the rider side at +6.
And then last game on the board, this is the closest game, and this is the one I don't have a play for, just because I think it could go either way, and the lines indicate it. Memphis, they are the short favorite on the road. Memphis Showboats laying 1, -115 on the money line. Houston Roughnecks +1, -105 at home. They are the short dogs, and if I'm being honest, kid, no play, but I do lean Memphis. I think they go down there to Houston and they get the win. I know this is your team. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, Dylan, I appreciate your opinion, but I'm telling you right now, let's not forget the Roughnecks started strong last season, though. I think we started 2-0, 3-0.
Then it all came crashing down.
I'm talking about the bright side, my brother. You trying to bring me down. Still, let's not forget, Houston started last year, I think 2 or 3-0. I think they go right back on the right track. They're underdogs, -105 on the money line. And we taking Houston on the money line. God damn it. I like Memphis. Don't get them, the Showboats, but I think the Roughnecks are just a little better, Dylan. Let's be honest.
Yeah. All right. Let's here's to another great season. We had a really good season.
For all the listeners out there, we got over 30 watching live right now. Shockingly, me and Dylan had positive seasons last season. I'm not saying tell your boys, put units. All I'm saying is you might want to listen. That's all. That's
all. I had something I wanted to say, just to bring it back to I just wanted to bring it back to the Jets real quick. Important note on Hassan Reddick, because I'm diving deep into him. I might get his jersey. I'm like that big of a fan now. In 4 playoff games, which, this is kind of the reason we got him. In 4 playoff games, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. Just saying. Really
One
good.
of those was on when Brock Purdy broke his elbow, Dylan.
Exactly.
So the fumble, the strip fumble was Brock Purdy breaking his elbow, people. So don't put too much on that. He broke his damn arm.
Let's go to MLB, kid. Big slate. By the way, I wanted to say something else as well. At the Met game, they're paying tribute to a World War II vet. Shout out him. Oh my God. It was I didn't want to laugh, but he had the funniest name. I don't know if you saw it. It went like kind of viral. He was a Sergeant Seymour Wiener. What a name!
Seymour Wiener.
Seymour Wiener.
It's probably Weiner.
It's spelled WEINER, and the way they pronounce it on the
It's Wiener. It's
Is
Weiner
Wiener.
though. It's Weiner though.
I don't know, Seymour Wiener, and everyone was so serious. They stood up and they were paying respects. And then everyone behind me just started dying laughing. I didn't want to laugh, but the name got it.
It's
Seymour
Weiner.
Wiener's
I'm
legend.
telling you. Shout out Wiener.
It's
Though. Shout out.
legendary.
It's
Yeah,
legendary. He's a
shout out
legend.
him. He's a legend. Absolutely. Let's get to baseball. Yeah, tough day for the kid yesterday. Really didn't see the. What are you laughing at? I just didn't see the board well. Yesterday I went. Oh, I didn't do as bad as I thought. It was my rest of my plays. Jose Quintana got there. Mets didn't get there. Phillies, they looked good until the Braves just blew it open. Houston 0-2. Yankees off to a nice start.
They do. That's all I was saying.
Dodgers keep winning as well. So 3-3 on the day. Got 9 bets today. I'll start with the first one. I'm going to keep it rolling with the Baltimore Orioles. I think opening day, that was the best play. -1.5. We're still getting plus money. We are going to continue to fade the Anaheim Angels. We're getting +125 here. Grayson Rodriguez on the mound against Griffin Canning. We are just going to continue. They had one hit, and it was Mike Trout's home run. Outside of that, they just could not do anything.
First at bat at that. Other than that, shut down.
Newsflash, if anyone here is watching or listening and you didn't watch baseball, Mike Trout is still fucking good at baseball. For anybody that's new to the program. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to fade the Angels, kid. Give me the Baltimore Orioles, almost said Ravens. -1.5 at +124. Any play here?
Nah, dude, I lean with you though. I almost took it as well on the run line. That's the best value to get with Baltimore. The money line -164. Do you want to lay that much still? I think they take care of it, of business as well.
All right. Next game for me. Give me the Detroit Tigers. I think this is a small number against a White Sox team that, like I said in the futures show, we're just going to fade the White Sox. I think they're one of the worst teams in the league. I know they got Michael Soroka, the guy from the Braves, going. He has some potential, but he gets injured a lot. I think Kenta Maeda coming over from the Twins is a much better pitcher. They have a better lineup. I just trust them here. I'm going to take Detroit here at -134. I think it's a discounted rate. What do you got here?
No official play deal, but I lean with you. Detroit is definitely the right side. We both said the White Sox are just one of the worst teams in baseball. And shockingly, I give Detroit some, especially against White Sox still, I expect them to take care of business. So shout out Detroit.
All right. Next game on the docket for me. I'm going to take the under 8.5 here with the Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Under 8.5 at -115. You got Yusei Kikuchi and Zach Liedl going for the Rays and the Blue Jays. And, beside both games finished with 10 runs, but I think some regression is going to come, especially for the Blue Jays, who they didn't really do anything yesterday. And I think Zach Liedl will definitely kind of hold them in check. So I'm going to go under 8.5. I think the number is a little too short, especially for the first 2 games to have 10 runs in both games. I think we're going to see some regression here. So under 8.5 is my third play. Anything here?
Yeah, I'm going Tampa on the money line, -122. Like you said, with Little, he's just a better pitcher, and I expect Tampa Bay bats to make a little more noise, unlike opening day. So I'm gonna go with Tampa -122 on the money line.
Next game for me, give me the Minnesota Twins on the money line, -125. Another game where I just think, we're getting a discounted rate on one of the worst teams in the league as well, in the Kansas City Royals. Now, I do think they'll win some games. I think Bobby Witt Jr. He's going to be a superstar in this league one day. He's just a little too young, and it's literally only him on the team. But Seth Lugo is going for the Royals. He is an upgrade than what they had previously, but Joe Ryan is a much better pitcher. I think they have a better lineup. Give me Minnesota Twins -125.
Yeah, though. Same here, though. Going with the Twins -125. I feel like this number is great value. Respect to Lugo, but Ryan is just a much better pitcher. I expect Minnesota to take care of business on the road. If they were home, this will be a much higher number. I think at -125, people, you should hop on it.
All right, next game, Cincinnati Reds and the Washington Nationals. Another game, I'm going to take the plus money, +120 on the run line for the Cincinnati Reds. They blew out the Washington Nationals opening day. What was the score? 8-2. You know, we how long or how many games last season or last time on the pod did we fade Patrick Corbin? Literally almost every fucking time. Like, I do think there are going to be some spots where we can cash on him, but Hunter Green, I love Hunter Green. He's one of my favorite pitchers on this Reds team. He throws fucking gas. Gonna fade Patrick Corbin. I think the Reds offense is electric. They are my pick to win the division at plus 120 or 120. I'm gonna take the Reds on the run line here at home.
Nice.
What do you got?
I have nothing in this game, Dill. Anything I lean the under just because I don't think Washington can put up them. Cincinnati, they can, but I lean the under 10. It's a lot of runs in that ballpark, Dill. It's a pitcher's ballpark, by the way.
Yeah, it is. That's one of the stadiums I want to visit this season as well, Great American Ballpark. Let's go out to Texas. What a first game it was. I don't know if you watched opening day with the Texas game and the controversy with the foul ball and them calling it kind of like a pass ball. Did you see that?
Nah, I didn't. What happened?
So ninth inning. Yeah, eighth inning. Yeah, it was the eighth inning. It was a tie game. And Jonah Heim is the catcher for the Rangers, and I forgot who was up for the Cubs, but it was one of those pitches where the bat kind of skimmed it, but you could see in slow motion it changed direction when he skimmed it, and it was a foul ball, but it went off his glove, and the ump thought that it was kind of a pass ball, and it was a live ball. It was a live ball, and the guy from second went all the way home and scored, and Jonah Heim was kind of arguing instead of going and getting the ball, and the ump didn't want to talk, and he goes, "This is a live play," and the guy came all the way home, and they took the lead in the eighth inning, and then Jonah Heim in extra innings gets the walk off. So it was kind of poetic justice how it all went down. But yeah, to say all that, the Rangers hosting the Cubs here, minus 125 for the Cubs, plus 108 for the Cubs, minus 125 for the Rangers, excuse me. Over under is at 9.5. Any play in this game for you, kid?
No, dusted away, but you know how I'm feeling, Dill. You know my heart wants
Your
me
boy.
to go. Kyle Hendricks is on the mound, people. Dylan knows the role I was on a couple years ago with Kyle Hendricks. For the loyal listeners out there, I'm not going to do it, but I want to take Kyle Hendricks plus 105 so bad. Honestly, people, I want to take Chicago plus half a run first five at minus 128.
Little first five action.
Kyle Hendricks, he's just a stud. I understand he's not what he once was, and I hate the fact that he's just, dying in Chicago, but Kyle Hendricks, he's a stud. I don't care what nobody says. He's still, in my eyes, a great pitcher. I give him a shot against the champs.
I'm going to fade him. Give me the short money with the Rangers, minus 125. I like Kyle Hendricks. I do. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's a little past his prime. Yeah. He's getting up there in age, and I think with this lineup, they had a slow start in opening day, but I think here they turn it around, and I think they unload on Kyle Hendricks. So minus 125, I think we are getting a discounted price. Next game for me is I'm going to take the Padres again, minus 125 against Jordan Hicks. I was never a fan of Jordan Hicks, even when he was on St. Louis last year. Now he comes over to San Francisco. Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres, much improved. Thank God he got out of Chicago. I mean, he was just dying in the White Sox. They were so bad. Now he has a chance to, go get to the playoffs, compete for a championship. Think he's the much better pitcher. Give me the Padres on the money line, minus 125.
Dale, you got a better number than me. I'm going the same way, but I got minus 135 for the listeners out there. As of right now, the line is at minus 130. So shop around whatever you get the best value. I got minus 135. I'm going to take the San Diego Padres as well, Dale. Been rolling with them to start the season. 500 so far, but I feel like with Cease on them out against Hicks, like you said, Cease is just a better pitcher. Hicks could get hit. Give me San Diego at home.
All right, let's go out to the desert. Arizona Diamondbacks hosting the Colorado Rockies. Austin Gomber going for the Rockies. Tommy Henry going for the Arizona Cardinals. You saw that third inning, that historic third inning for the Arizona Diamondbacks. That shit was insane. They won 16-1. Rockies, they're another team like the White Sox and like the Nationals. They're just going to be one of the worst teams this season. If the books continue to give you plus money on the opposing team's run line, continue to take it. -1.5 for the Diamondbacks. You're getting plus money. Don't want to say it's a free money, but Arizona Diamondbacks should win this game convincingly at home. I'll take the run line here. What do you got?
I have not an official deal, but I can't discard anything you just said. That the way the Arizona's look opening day, they're 2-0 to start the season. And let's just be honest, if in Colorado ain't home, we ain't touching the over. We ain't touching them at all. So Arizona is the right side, though.
All right, let's go out to the last game I got, and then we'll see if you have any more. Dodgers taking on St. Louis Cardinals. Lance Lynn going for the Cardinals. Yamamoto is going for he got rocked his first game. Oh my God. And I thought he would have actually done better in South Korea than he would have done in the States, but man, 45 ERA, he did not look good at all. I don't know if he'll look even better. I hope he'll definitely have a bounce back. I just think we're going to see runs here. I'm going to take the over 8.5. Look at the first two games, 6-3. That got over 7-1 opening day. They're right there. I think the Cardinals bats kind of get it going just a little to keep it respectable, but I think we'll see some runs. We're always going to see some runs for the Dodgers. So if you want to take their team total, I think they're going to smack Lance Lynn. Or, hey, they could get over this number by themselves. I do think we'll see a lot of runs. So I'm going to go over. The wind is blowing out in Dodger Stadium as well. We got winds blowing around 9 miles an hour towards center field. So that should help us a little. Give me the over 8.5 here. What do you got?
Same deal. Caught it early. After seeing Yamamoto's first start, you gotta be some runs on the board. Yes, is he due for a bounce back? Yes. Do I think he's gonna do a 45 ERA? Absolutely not, people. But I do think he's gonna let a couple balls, get hit hard a couple of times. I expect them to get some contact off him, especially St. Louis. Still, they still got some bats or whatever. But I'm gonna go with the over as well. Dodgers at the end of this, Lance Lynn. So I expect the Dodgers put up some run as well. And then Yamamoto, he's the X factor. It's either he's gonna get smoked again or he's gonna have a good outing. But regardless, I think the runs will still be scored. Give me the over 8.5. I want it at -105.
I love it, kid. Now, I didn't touch on about 5 or 6 other games. I just didn't have any action on them. Boston and Seattle. I still hate Seattle for ruining my parlay. I
try to tell you. Dog of the day, opening day, +145.
Not touching Miami. They're off to an 0-2 start to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I think they're due, though. I think they do. But
so you're gonna take them?
I'm not putting them. Okay.
I was thinking about fading the Athletics again. We're getting a short number with the Indians, -139. Low-key wanted to take the Phillies again at +114 and fade the Braves. Not touching the Mets, even though I do think we should win today against against DJ Hall. Severino on the mound. And then I don't know if he's good. We'll see. And then the Yankees 2-0, and we're continuing to get plus money with Stroman. It's very enticing. But like you said, Houston I think is due. But any of those games you got action on?
Yeah, I'm taking Houston on the money line, -135. This team I trust a little more than the Marlins. Still, this one I'm actually going to put money on. The Yankees. First of all, Giancarlo Stanton has been raking. Got to give him credit. He started off strong, but the Yankees they ain't about to sweep Houston open the season. Give me Houston. I understand Stroman. It's a little better than Brown, but at the end of the day, I don't think Houston gets started off to an 0-3 start at home. If they were on the road, possibly, but at home losing 3 straight, come on now. Give me Houston on the money line, -130. -135.
Not touching the Boston Red Sox, huh?
I gave you a dog of a day once. I'm not. I did.
What more can we expect?
Come on now. I told you Red Sox opening day money line +140. What?
That was a shot. I rewatched the Devers home run. That was a nice hit. I hate him, but that was a shot. Let's go to the Elite 8. What games last night? Even on Thursday, Clemson. What a fucking performance. They just out-physicaled. They out-dominated Arizona. Arizona did not look like a good team. They couldn't hit shots early on, and shout out Clemson, man. They're dancing right now. They're in the Elite 8. Big win for them. It was kind of the night of upsets, especially Thursday. You had Alabama beating UNC. My bracket's fucking done. My champ's out. Alabama just shot the roof off of the ball. And if they're hitting their threes like that, they are a hard team to beat. Yeah, some questionable decision making for North Carolina down the stretch. Don't know why their center was shooting a three, up one with a minute left in the game with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. What the fuck are you doing? Oh my God, that fucking grinded my gears. Anyway, that was a tough one. Illinois, they are getting hot at the right moment. They went 15 for 26 on the free throw line and still won the game by 3. They should have won by 20. The way I will say though, they can't have a bad night at the line again like that. It might come back and hurt them. But
you
UConn
95% against UConn.
Yeah. Oh my God. You might need 100. And then UConn. I know you tried to San Diego State. You tried to keep them within 11, but man, this UConn team is the best team in the country. They won by 30. They won by 30. It was disgusting. And then last night we had some good games as well. North Carolina State, the Cinderella team, 8 wins in a row, and now they're in the Elite 8. Can they pull it off? They beat Marquette 67-58. The game wasn't close from the start. Shout out DJ Burns too. The big guy from NC State getting it done. I fucking love him. Purdue beat Gonzaga. That one stung. Zach Edey's so fucking good. I thought Gonzaga was going to keep it closer. They were close in the first half, but Purdue, they're a good team. They're nice. They're good. And then the 2 games I didn't see because I was at the bar last night, but I saw that they won. Duke won 54-51. A nip and tuck kind of defensive game, and then Tennessee wins over Creighton 82-75. Did you watch those 2 games?
Dale, I fell asleep during the Duke game, but I ended up taking them live, plus 290.
Ooh,
on the
live betting.
Live betting. So, I had to crack them right there just because, I just felt, first of all, I've been saying Houston been frauds for over a week now, so I had to stand on business on that. But I just feel like the Duke Blue Devils, they're just a little peskier of a team. And I just knew come second half, Houston was just going to fall over. And they did.
Yeah, they sure did. We got 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. Let's dive into them, kid. We will start with the first game on the board. It is UConn taking on Illinois. Right now, UConn laying 8.5. Over under is at 154.5. We see another blowout. The UConn have beat teams by an average of 27 points. They've only trailed for 20 seconds this tournament. Does it continue, E?
Dale, I don't know if they win by 27, but they can win by 9. I tell you that, Dale. From what I saw Thursday, UConn is just flat out better than anybody on the field, especially on the tournament, Dale. To be honest, you gotta lead the 9.5, the 8.5. I'm not gonna take it personally, Dale, but from what we saw the other day, I think that's the right play. I'm not gonna go official, but UConn minus 8.5, heavy lean.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over minus 154.5, minus 110. I just think the way these 2 teams score the ball, we saw what Illinois was able to do against a really good Iowa State defense. They put up 70 points. We know if UConn could score 80, 90 points, this game is going to go over. And I do think Illinois, especially early on, maybe in the first half, I do think they could keep it semi-competitive. I do think they'll be able to get shots off with UConn. I think we're going to see a track race, though. So I'm going to go over. That's my official play. As for a side, I mean, I got to lay it with UConn. I mean, they're just the best team. Like Dan Hurley, shout out Dan Hurley and the boys, man, because they lost so much last season in the draft. And look at them. They are in prime position to be even better. To go back to back is insane, and I think they have a really good chance, and it all starts tonight. Let's go to the next game. Let's see what it is. Clemson taking on Alabama. Short line, Alabama laying 3.5 against Clemson. Over under high total 164. Like I said, Alabama shoots the brick out off the ball. But give me the Cinderella team. Give me Clemson Tigers plus 3.5. I think they're dogs too. I think the physicality that they bring on the defensive side of the ball, I think is going to cause Alabama to have fits. Because I think they're going to play a different style than North Carolina did. North Carolina kind of let them shoot the ball a little bit. I don't think Clemson's going to let off all those easy shots that North Carolina did. So I'm going to take Clemson plus 3.5.
Dale, I'm going with the Roll Tide minus 3.5, Dill. I'm sorry to tell you, Dill, but I even though Clemson a little pesky defensively, Dill, I'll give you that. I just feel like Alabama can still shoot the ball out, still gonna be able to shoot. Hey, they can still get it rowdy down low, Dill. So I think Alabama, they're destined to the Final Four. They're a really good team. Give Clemson credit. They deserve to be here. But I think Alabama moves on. Give me Alabama minus 3.5.
All right, let's go to Sunday's game. Easter Sunday. We'll start with the first game. Early tip. Number 1, Purdue laying 3.5 against the Volunteers. Over under is at 148. Very interesting here. I like Tennessee plus 3.5. I'm going to continue to fade Purdue. I faded them against Gonzaga. How many times do I have to fade them to learn my lesson? One more time. One more time, I guess. Give me Tennessee plus 3.5. I think the way Volunteers have been playing defense, like I said, I think it was 2 or 3 shows ago, Tennessee never had a guy to go and get a bucket when they needed to. Now they got their guy. Give me Tennessee plus 3.5. I think they're live.
Still, I'm going with the Boilermakers once again. One of us got to do it. I've been right thus far. I think I'll be right again. Give me the Purdue Boilermakers minus 3.5, minus 107. Give credit to Tennessee making it this far, but I think Purdue and UConn are destined.
And then the last game, the Battle of North Carolina, the Duke Blue Devils taking on North Carolina State Wolfpack. What a run. What a run. Winning 5 games in 5 days, North Carolina to win the ACC tournament, to say, hey, we belong here. And now in the Elite 8, trying to punch your ticket to the Final Four, and you have an opportunity to beat an in-state rival in the Duke Blue Devils. Oh, Hollywood can't write this better, kid. Laying 6.5 the Duke Blue Devils plus 6.5 for the Wolfpack. Over unders at 143. Kid, I have no play here. No play on the Duke game. They've been playing better since I haven't been betting on them. So I'm going to continue not to touch. I'm going to continue not to touch the game. Every time I touch the Duke Blue Devils, they either don't cover or they lose outright. I'm going to do the fans of Duke a favor and not touch this game.
Shout out Bob, man. Still, to be honest, I'm kind of with you. You know, I'm not gonna say take NC State, even though they've been playing at a high level. But personally, do I trust the Blue Devils to cover? Absolutely not. I think the right side is NC State plus the points, but I think the Blue Devils advance. So that's my opinion on the game.
All right. And then, we got the Final Four next week. And then April 4th or 5th, I think, is the national championship. It's the 8th, actually. So next weekend is the Final Four. And then next Monday, the 8th, is the national championship down in Phoenix, Arizona. Lovely, lovely weather out there. And let's end it. The only reason we're ending it with the NBA, only three games on the slate. Ugly slate, if I'm being honest, kid. I tried to get plays for you. I tried to give the people some plays. Wasn't really feeling anything.
Never force it, kid. Never.
Yeah. I like the Magic, but laying 13 is crazy. I was gonna take the +6 with the Pelicans. They've been playing good ball. But Celtics are the best team. I didn't want to force anything. I don't have anything, if I'm being honest. So take us away. What do you got?
Dale, let's start right there. Boston's taking on the Pelicans in New Orleans. Dale, I'm taking the +6, +5.5, wherever you get it with the Pelicans. Dale, understand Boston's one of the best teams in the NBA, or the best team in the NBA, but the Pelicans have been playing better ball. Past 2 weeks, I'm not gonna say Boston is falling off. All I'm saying is they're not finishing these games. You know, they gave up a 20-point lead to the Atlanta Hawks just a week ago. They lost again in overtime against the Hawks just the other day. And the Pelicans, man, Zion is healthy, CJ's there, BI is there. I just feel like the Pelicans are just sneakily very good. And to give them +6 at home, I take that in my back pocket all day. Give me the Pelicans at home +6. And then, like you said, Orlando, I feel like the only reason the spread is so high is just because the Lakers blew out the Memphis Grizzlies the other day. On principle, I think we got to take the +13. Let's not forget, this Magic team just lost to the Warriors the other day without Draymond. Steph only had 17. The high score was Andrew Wiggins. He gave them 23 with the win. So I feel like Memphis to lose by 14 plus, I don't know, Dale. I think they get a shot to cover. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, you saw them lose the other night without LeBron against the Lakers. Atlanta Hawk, great win against the Celtics. Like I said, I just feel like the Bucks are due for a win. They're due for a statement game. I understand against Atlanta, you're not really making a statement, but you need to have a dominant game, and I think you could possibly have one here. I saw this the other day though with Adrian Griffin. They were a 30-win team. I think they were 30-13. With Doc Rivers, there's just 2 games over 500. I think his record since he took over is 15-13. Though that's not great,
No.
So I kind of want to go with the Bucks -3.5, -4 on the road, Dill. But with Atlanta, they're fighting for they're in the 10th spot right now. They're trying to fight up to number 9. Devontae Murray been playing great basketball. I might have to stay away, but I'm gonna lean with the Bucks on the road -3.5, -4. And then Dill, just real quick for opinions for tomorrow. As of right now, no lines, but I'm gonna go with Denver against whatever the spread is against Cleveland. We know Denver's fighting to get that number 1 seed. I think they do. Lakers versus Brooklyn Nets. Lakers lost a tough one yesterday. I expect them to bounce back against the Nets and take care of business. Dylan, we've been struggling as well. The Lakers lost to the Pacers, definitely due for a bounce back. Clippers versus Charlotte, staying away. I don't trust the Clippers right now, even though they just won in Philadelphia. Miami versus Washington. If the spread is over 9 points, I wouldn't take it with Miami. Philly versus Toronto, take Philly. Hopefully the spread is not too high. I'm gonna see around 4 to 5. Take Philly. OKC versus the Knicks. Still, I'm sorry to say, OKC on the road against your Knicks.
I know you've seen Brunson 61.
61.
What
I saw Brunson 61. Respect, but OKC is just they got some dogs over there. Dill. Houston versus Dallas. This is gonna be a great game. I can't wait to. I'm gonna try to see it. I know it's Easter, but I'm gonna try to tune in. Dill, I'm gonna go with Houston. We saw Dallas win 2 in a row. I think they won 5 straight games or something like that. 2 in a row against the Sacramento Kings. I think I'm gonna just keep rolling with Houston. They'll Golden State versus the Spurs. Go with Golden State with or without Draymond. And then the last game, Utah taking on Sacramento Kings. Give me the Kings minus the spread, whatever it is.
Yeah, Dallas 6 wins in a row, and I think you got to continue to fade Utah. They've lost 8 in a row. Not playing well at all. But Elvis, thank you so much. Jam-packed episode. Opening week 1 in the UFL. 15 games on the MLB. We got Elite 8 action tonight. UFC Atlantic City tonight. Oh my God, it's gonna be a fantastic fucking night, kid.
One thing I can honestly say is we gave out a lot of winners today.
A lot of
winners.
And probably some losers.
Absolutely. We ain't perfect now. We never said we ain't gonna lose. But one thing it is, we are gonna win, Dale. I want to give a shout out to all the listeners and people watching out there. We was 30 plus viewers throughout the whole episode. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Appreciate everyone tuning in, chatting with us, and hanging out on this glorious Saturday morning. Good luck to everyone. That is going to do it for this Saturday edition of the Dream Wager on behalf of our sponsor, Viva, Elvis, myself. Make sure you guys follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We're going to go live, like I said, last show, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps this show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great weekend. Good luck on your wagers, and we will see you guys on Monday. Peace.